Hi, welcome to Eileen Who Got Yoga. I know it's been a while since I actually posted some yoga videos, but today it's finally the day we're doing yoga again. Okay, we're going to be talking today about two terminologies that you might be thinking, what does it mean when they say internal and external rotation? Okay, when we're talking about internal and external rotation, it's not about feelings, okay? Okay, internal and external rotations actually happens in your shoulders joint and in your hip joint, because these two joints are actually made of a ball and a socket that allows that movement of rotation. Look at our arms first, okay? You see several points there, and this is also a joint. There's also a joint there. So on your shoulders, elbows, and wrist. So let's try to press your fingertips up. So when we come to an internal rotation, looking at the shoulders, not just the fingers, is that you're gonna roll your shoulders forward. And then an external rotation is you're gonna roll the shoulders backward, okay? But your hands are like here. Even if your arms are not in that position, your shoulders can roll inward. This is an internal rotation. External rotation, and your shoulders roll backward, okay? But it won't roll all the way back. It's just because there are some muscles, of course, around there that hinders to get a complete rotation, okay? So it's the same with your hips. There's an internal rotation. Okay, let me see. Let me show you that. So from the hip bone, an internal rotation and an external rotation, okay? Internally rotating and externally rotating. We'll get to know more about this. I'll give you a little bit of a short sequence here. Let's grab a strap first, so that you would, a strap or a resistance band, so that you would be able to warm up the shoulders first and warm up your hamstrings. Okay, so for now, I'll just use a resistance band. Hold the resistance band, and then from here, you're gonna pull it away, and then you're gonna reach your arms up, and then reach it to the back. Some of you might think this is the rotation. This is just actually the circumduction. Okay, let's do it again. So some of you, okay, so reaching your hands up and reaching your hands down. This is just actually a warm-up for the shoulders. So this is not yet the internal and external rotation, guys, okay? Inhale, hands up. Exhale, back. Just warming up the shoulders. Two more of this. Inhale up. Exhale, back. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, back. Last one. Exhale, forward. All right, from here, we might also need some sliders. So just, if you don't have sliders, you can get them at Decathlon, special mention. Or you can have microwavable plastic covers. You know, those covers are those microwavable. You can always use that. Okay. Let's lie down and let's start to warm up also your hip joint. So when you lie down, oh, my hair is gonna get messed up. Sorry, I need to fix it so that I already fixed my hair, aren't they? Okay, hug the knees in to your chest, press it in, then circle the knees around first, and then circle the other way. This is not your internal or external rotation yet. This is not it. Okay, let's just do a simple twist first just to warm up the back. And then we'll switch to the other side. Okay. Ooh. I don't know if you heard that, guys. My back just cracked. Okay. Look at a couple of workouts already for today. Apparently my back is like gonna crack. Okay, we're gonna extend the right leg. Walk your hands up on your resistance band. And then straighten your knee. And then you're gonna slowly straighten that left leg. Flex your feet. Okay. Now, currently, your rotation is in neutral. So when your knee and your toes are like pointed forward, that's in a neutral position. Okay. Now, when you turn your toes out, you're not just gonna turn from the toes. You're gonna turn your toes, knee, all the way to your hip joint, okay? All the way down there. You're gonna rotate that entire leg from this hip joint so that your toes and your knees start to point out, okay? When this happens, this is called an external rotation, okay? And then when we rotate it internally, your toes start to point in, knee, and from the hip joint, this is an internal rotation. We'll do that again. External rotation, internal rotation, external rotation, and internal rotation. We'll do it on the other side so that it's just a little bit clearer for you. Okay. Hug the left knee in, bend the right knee first with the strap so that you'll be able to stretch your hamstrings and then straighten the right leg. Okay, turning your toes in, outward, knee and toes pointing out, turning from the hip joint, that's your external rotation. And then when your toes and knees start to point in, that's your internal rotation. Toes and knee pointing out. That's external rotation. Toes point in. Knee point in. That's your internal rotation. One more. External. And then internal. Alright. That's for your feet. Now we're gonna go to your arm.
Now we're gonna go to the internal and external rotation for the shoulders.
We'll use a slider for this one. So fold your mat into half so that you just have enough space to be able to do your sliders. I like using the sliders just to be able to demonstrate this so that you feel the rotation even if your hands are down on the mat. So, keeping your core engaged, wrist underneath the shoulders. Let's just start to do it here. So keeping your wrists engaged, shoulders under. Let's start to do it here. Okay, let's do an external rotation, starting to turn your fingers out. And then start to feel your collarbone. How does that feel when you do an external rotation? You feel your collarbone spread out a little bit, right? And then when you do an internal rotation, try to feel your armpit. There's a little bit more space under there. Okay? One more time. External rotation. Feeling your armpit a little bit secured. So you feel the contact of your arm to your armpit. Okay, then internal. You feel your armpit spacious. Okay, one more. External. And then internal. Okay. From here, let's do it into a side plank. Okay, you don't need to put all the weight. You can step it back, your left foot back, so that you feel the weight on that hand. So let's do an internal rotation. What happens to that shoulder? Naturally, your shoulder starts to feel rounding. Let's do an external rotation. And then you'll feel the broadening of your collarbone. Internal rotation, your armpit seems so spacious. External rotation, there's a little bit more security. Security. We all need security for your shoulder, right? So you need security for that shoulder. Don't you want to feel secure? Internal rotation. One more. See? So much space. Do you really need that space? Do you want to feel that space in between? External rotation into a more secure shoulder. And then we'll switch to the other side just to balance it off. Stepping the right foot back. I will be able to look at the camera. So internal rotation, turning your fingers in. Remember, it's not just the wrist that's turning, okay? So try to turn from the shoulder joint. And then external rotation. Internal, external. One more, internal, and then external. Feel the difference when you do that? Okay. Now, if you start to do that into your shoulder and hold on, and roll the mat. Now, even if your hands are down on the mat and you start to do an external rotation, even if your fingers are not moving, but you're moving your shoulders to an external rotation, you would feel the change and start to do an internal rotation. I'm not moving my fingers, just from the shoulder joints. External rotation. Internal rotation. Okay. Now also try to look at here. Let's step the right foot back. Lift the right leg up. Coming from an internal rotation. Notice how my right hip starts to drop. External rotation. Notice that when I do an external with the right leg, there's a little bit external rotation all the way to your left leg. Internal rotation. So it kind of also, what do you call this? It kind of also affects the entire hip with the internal and external. Switch to the other side. Let's just do it 3 rounds, okay? So just try to feel from your hip joint, float it. Internal, external, internal. What do you notice that's happening here? It's the squaring of the hips. So if you want to know more about squaring of the hips, you can actually learn this first and then go back to the squaring of the hips video. This is the last one. External. Good. Relax the knees down. I actually did a video already regarding this. Your upward external rotation for the shoulders, which I explained the external rotation already. And I can't remember if I explained the internal rotation. It seemed like a million years ago already. But just in case that you want to review those as well. And now that I was able to explain the internal and external rotation, I hope this video gives you a little bit more clarity. And it's always an honor to serve you, and it's always an honor to give out information so that it would give more education and information to more people. Thank you very much for having me. Namaste.
Thank you for practicing yoga with me. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also check out more yoga videos and follow me in my Facebook and Instagram.